Hey everybody, so I'm going to do a quick tank update. I haven't done one since before the tank hop. I figured I would go ahead and shoot some video to record the state of my tank now, because I'm going to be adding some LPS tomorrow. My SPS are doing great, the LPS I have are all doing fine. It looks like my finicky angel has stopped picking at the Trachophilia, so I am going to go ahead and risk adding some more and see what she does. If she does continue picking, then she's going to have to go, but that's life, and that also lets me get the Bellis Angel trio that I really want. Anyway, good things, bad things. So just a quick update. I'm going to go ahead and do some close-ups on the tank and take a look at how things are encrusting and how things are growing. And then probably do another short update right after I get the new corals in and everything is settled. So here's the left side of my tank. This is dominated by Euphyllia and Montipora, also clove polyps, which are now the bane of my existence. I'm going to do my best to get rid of these guys. I will probably be pulling all of them out this weekend, or when I say all, I mean all I can get, because the the polyps have actually now grown down into the Pucani rock, which means I'm never getting them out of here. I'm just going to have to face an ongoing battle of trying to remove them and see what I can do, just keeping up with them. But, you know, we make choices. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. So here's a quick look at my little Euphyllia garden and how that's growing. Everything is doing really well. The blue and green hammer on the top actually came out of my daughter's old tank. It was roughly the size you see it now, and for some reason it started losing heads when it had been in this tank for about 3 months. Not sure what happened, not sure why it happened, but a few of the main heads remained. After a couple of weeks, I started noticing some small heads appearing on the tissue on the body, the main part of the coral, and obviously it's recovering nicely because it's grown new heads. There's even a piece of the skeleton that fell into the back of the tank that is growing new heads, so I'm gonna eventually fish that out and find some place for it. All of the encrusting corals, the Cyphastria, the Montipora, are doing really well. My Sunrise Monty is doing exceptionally well. In fact, it's doing so well, it's killing off the Monty cap. I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do, either move the Monty cap or start chipping off Sunrise. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do. The reverse Superman I have is encrusting nicely. Some SPS I have over on this side. There's some more Monties. There's my little Duncan colony, which went from 1 head to, I think I have 7 heads on there now. That happened in the course of about a month. Some more SPS. There's a little grafted Monty cap, which it's hard to tell it's grafted, but there's some little spots of green in there. There's some more Monties here. Jason Fox, a Season's Greetings, and some more Cyphastria. There's my Red Planet, which is doing really well. Just generally having a lot of growth. Everything's doing really well. Can't really complain. And as I've said before, if I start saying how great everything is looking, that means it's probably going to die soon. So just to show you what's going on here, this is the area that's going to get renovated. This large rock that's covered in the zoas, going to be pulling that out. The mini maxi is probably going to end up going with it, although I love my mini maxis. That's the least colorful one, and I'd really like room for some more color. And I'm going to take this piece to the shop. We'll frag up the zoas. I may bring some back and replant it on my little zoa island and see how it does. But this is the area where all the LPS is going to go. The LPS seem to like it in this spot because of the restricted flow, kind of sheltered. A lot of the food that I broadcast feed with the fish ends up here, so they seem pretty happy with that. This is my bird's nest, one of my bird's nest colonies. My bleeding apple scolie, And a couple of random frags. I always have random frags that need to be placed. I don't, just seems to be a problem. Back to the SPS dominant side of the tank. Everything's growing really well. Like I said, all the encrusting stuff is doing well, including this Leptastria down here. More Montipora. And here is some of my higher light SPS, which are doing really well. That Millie up in the top, it's coloring up very slowly. It started out as a solid green, but it's the longer it sits at the top, it's getting some nice orange tips and starting to morph. We'll see what happens. I need to do a light bulb change on one of my T5 units, so we'll see if that makes a difference. And just running down here, obviously there's more encrusting Montipora. I have a Superman and another one of my bird's nest colonies. And then Zoa Island, which is growing in rather rapidly. All the different colonies, the different varieties, with the exception of the Miami Vices, which are notoriously finicky, and the Chucky's Brides, which I actually trimmed back. If you look at one of my older videos, you'll see the colony was much larger, but they were growing too fast, so I trimmed back. They just started overtaking the rock, and I really didn't want an entire rock of Chucky's Brides. Same thing is going on with these pallies at the top. I'm gonna have to pull this rock out and pull some of these pallies you see in the middle of the screen. I'm gonna have to pull them out. They're just too aggressive, and I'm afraid they're gonna choke everything else out. And although they have a little bit of color in them, they're just not. They don't shake my boots, if you know what I mean. And I've got you know, some Captain Americas in the back, and a couple of other varieties that are all doing nicely. And my now thoroughly overgrown Rasta Rock, which is actually shared. I bought this with one of my partners. He's building a new house and he's going to be getting a new tank. So once that's set up, we're going to be cutting that rock in half. When we bought it, I think we paid $25 for it, and it had like 6 polyps. So obviously it's done well. Blastos, which I love, and I'm going to be adding more. And then just a couple of things over here. Nothing exciting now on this side of the tank. And that's a quick update. Wanted to include a shot of the tank under full daylight instead of full actinic blue, so you get a better idea of what the tank looks like. I think it's a little more interesting than when it's full blue, but I only run it like this for about 5 hours a day, so the rest of the time the corals are getting their daily dose of color.